Hi, it's Derek here on behalf of Priority Management. We had a recent client on one of our Microsoft project courses that from a mining company that was explaining that what they were doing was they were going through and changing all the colours of the way individual tasks represent on the Gantt chart. So when they printed out, they could see sort of different rigs and different colours on the sheets. However, they explained that this was a laborious task because what they were doing was literally going into one task at a time and coming up to format, saying bar, and then choosing a particular colour and saying OK, and then literally repeating the process for each individual task. Of course, this is quite a cumbersome or tiring activity if you've got a large number of tasks. So this purpose of this video capture is to record how to do this using macros, and so what we're going to do is record a macro that will change the task colours on the Gantt chart representation for drilling rig 1 to maroon in colour. The way we'll do that is to go up to Tools on the menu up here and come down to Macros, and then as you can see we've got the option here to record a new macro. I'll need to give this macro a name, so I'm actually in this case just going to call it the colour maroon, and for my purposes I'm just going to save this into this project rather than putting it into global on my computer. You need to make sure that the radio buttons here are on relative and relative. You may need to change this one on this side, so just make sure they're both highlighted relative and say OK. We're now in recording mode, and what we're going to do is change on drilling rig 1, hole 1, we're going to change this task here to represent in maroon colour. So we'll just go up to here and choose format bar, and in there we'll choose maroon on the list. Say OK to that, and as you can see that task is now represented in maroon. What we need to do now is stop recording. We don't need any more on the macro, so we're just going to go back up to Tools and come down to maroon and stop recorder, and the recording is now complete. Now to play the recording in future, what we need to do is we can create a button on our toolbar up here, and I'm just going to call it a maroon button quite simply. In this exercise you can choose smiley faces or any sort of names you require. So if I just up here in the area up here by help, I'm just going to right click, and from the menu here I'm going to choose customize. Once we've got there, make sure you're on the commands tab and come down, and you'll see that in the list there you have all macros. Now this file is saved with the name drilling rigs, so the macro here comes up as drillingrigs.mpp with the word that I've chosen maroon afterwards, and what I can do there is just drag that button across onto my toolbar. If you still leave this customize box open, you can then choose a right click here and you can actually customize this. So what I'm going to do, for instance, is I'm just going to get rid of the whole file path name and just call it maroon, and I can leave that just as a name, or I can choose to button images, so you can choose all sorts of button images, that sort of thing, but I'm just going to leave the word up there and leave this here that says text only always. And if I just say close to that, I've now got, when everything's sized back up again, you can see that I've got maroon up here on the toolbar, which is my button. So where I've highlighted number 2 now, I can just press maroon and that task will be maroon. I'll just do this out of order on purpose, and just to show you that it works, and you can just choose maroon to quickly highlight the tasks on your chart. Obviously then what you might need to do, if you've got 4 or 5 drilling rigs, you may need to just come through and make 4 or 5 buttons. You can modify these buttons to be the same size as the original buttons up here, or to use abbreviations etc up there, or names of rigs, whichever way you'd like to go. I trust that you'll find this activity useful. Best wishes now.